Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
Coming up, we promised and we will deliver. A handful of presentation apps are going to be thrown at your face.
Plus, secure your iCloud account. Ow! Your iCloud account. She hit me. Did you see that?
I meant it.
Feedly tips and why tablets cannot do everything,
Not
like
everything.
protect you against Sarah Lane.
All that and some incredible mail. Put those two together, and what do you got?
An incredible mail.
Incredimail on iPad today.
iPad Today is brought to you by GoToMeeting with HD Faces from Citrix, the powerfully simple way to meet and collaborate with colleagues and clients anywhere. You can share the same screen and see each other face-to-face with HD video conferencing, even from an iPad. Sign up for your 30-day free trial today. Visit GoToMeeting.com, click on the Try It Free button, and use the promo code iPad. And by Rackspace, the open cloud company. At Rackspace, build what you want, where you want, and how you want, all backed by their world-renowned fanatical support. Try it today. Download the open cloud at rackspace.com/open. And by Slingbox, which can turn your mobile device into a television. With the all-new Slingbox, you can watch high-def TV on your smartphone, laptop, or tablet anywhere there's an internet connection. Check it out at slingbox.com/twit. Wow! Wapatito, wapatito, woo 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 woo, papa doo da da, la 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 la.
We're really on fire today. Sometimes I can tell from the first words that leave our lips that it's going to be either a great show or a doozy or something psychotically in between.
Or smoldering.
Speaking of smoldering,
yes.
What's going on with your face?
I'm on fuego. It's good you mentioned that because people probably at home are watching and saying, well, Leo must have slept in a ditch last night.
It kind of looks that way.
I was thinking maybe you might want to say something about it, but I was thinking of growing a beard, which is something I've never had.
Ever in your life.
Entire career in TV, I've always had why are you zooming in, Chad? Stop that! I always had the opinion that people on television should be wide open canvases, no glasses, no beards, just open faces to the world. But now that I look at it, I'm thinking maybe it'd be better if I were a little more hidden.
I like a good beard. I think this is fun. Yeah.
Beards are
You've
hip
never
now.
had a beard.
Like when I was 17, I had
no.
patches of hair.
So the answer is no.
Yeah, I have a picture somewhere. I'll show you what I looked like with a beard. It wasn't good.
I think, well, before the show, I said this is very Clooney of you.
Well,
and
this is what Clooney will look like in 20 or 30 years.
Well, but it's a good thing, A little stubble, a little Clooney action.
It's a little stubbly. But this is the hard part, and everybody, all the guys and a few of the girls in the building are saying, "Oh, don't worry, this is the hard part of growing a beard."
Right. This is where the itchy is.
This is where you have second thoughts, and you go, "Boy, this was a terrible idea."
Yeah.
It looks awful.
You just have to let it get long enough, like when I let my hair and my legs grow long enough so that it's silky.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can braid it.
I don't actually have
after a while.
Any hair on
if it gets long enough, you can braid it.
Right, and it looks really good.
You look like a
and then you get threads. Yeah,
yeah.
Dothraki leg dreads.
Yeah,
hot new craze for summer. You heard
Thanks
it
to
here.
Game of Thrones, it's the latest thing.
Yeah, spoiler.
You saw. We should mention this since we're now talking about Game of Thrones.
Why should we mention this?
Because I'm so jealous.
It has no bearing on anything.
But you saw the premiere of season 3 of the Game of Thrones. You went to an event that HBO threw in San Francisco at the Palace of Fine Arts, a beautiful spot.
It's a big theater in there.
And you and many of the other tech TV stalwarts like David Prager, Ryan Vance were there. And tell me about it.
Well, it was really fun. I got to watch the first episode
with a
10
big
days
crowd.
early.
Yeah,
it was a big crowd, and the actors were there. They sat right behind me.
The actual actors?
Yes. Not every single one of them.
Well, who?
Well, most of the Starks, the living ones anyway.
No, Ned Stark was not there.
No, there's really no reason.
Yeah, he's not in the season 3 unless he's a ghost.
He's not in season 2 either.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
So, but the little girl Stark,
Arya
was there. Sansa Stark, you met.
Catelyn, the mom.
You know who I like though is the imp. I mean, I like the little guy. Was he
wasn't
there?
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage is
no,
wonderful.
he wasn't there. Jon Snow was there.
Ooh, he's hot.
Jaime Lannister.
He's good. Was he wearing his bearskin coat?
No, he was just himself. Some of these people, I'm like, I want you to be dressed up as a nice.
It's kind of weird.
You that way.
I saw the actors in Downton Abbey in modern clothes, and I said, no, that's wrong.
It's wrong.
And you should. So anyway, season 1, good. I mean, this is why HBO invited you. You might as well use this opportunity to plug it.
Thank you. Watch.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Was it
great.
good?
It was great. Sorry if my mic was annoying.
You love Game of Thrones. No, they're talking about my mic.
No, they're talking about mine.
Is that a little bit of Rocky death metal you're wearing around your neck that you got from the Game of Thrones?
Why, yes. No. This is something I bought with
money.
With regular person
with
money.
Actual money.
Yeah,
okay.
so I don't know. Well, everybody's all weird because
I'm
I
jealous.
wore purple today. And
you look great. No. I'm not weird. Unless you think me saying you look great is weird.
Well,
which you
sort
might.
of. You never say that. You usually say, meh, meh, here, meh, brr. Hey, so enough about me. Let's talk about what we are supposed to talk about.
Presentations.
Yeah. Enough about Game of Thrones and fun things. Let's talk about presentations. No, but last week we had talked about Haiku Deck. It was a.
Did you see we got an email from the guy who made it?
Yeah, well, you saw that email too.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Adam Tratt, actually, the co-founder and CEO of Haiku Deck.
Anything you want to know, let me know. I know everything.
Well, you know what's interesting is that he said, "Thanks for showing off Haiku Deck on the show." And you had mentioned Leo because, well, here let's just remind people what Haiku Deck can do. I added a passcode to my iPad recently.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I'm just feeling like being a little bit more secure. When you let's go back to my
Cats in the Hats.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
I can't wait for that app.
Well, this is my presentation.
Oh.
Yeah. So
this is Haiku Deck. So what we talked about last time was that you could enter a word and it would look up the images to go with it. And I could see you've done that because you don't have any Siamese cats. Cats, yo.
Yeah.
32 dogs, 92 cats, 51 dogs and cats.
What's it all mean?
No idea.
Cats, yo. What's the cat ratio?
Oh, look at that. That's fancy.
We threw birds in there just for fun. So cats wins.
Yeah, that's because cats eat birds.
Yay, that's my
Haiku
Deck.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
How hard was that to do?
Not hard. You hope I say that, right? So if I wanted to go ahead and edit this, what Adam was talking about here, we're going to go ahead and load our slides in here. This is not my photo. That's just a photo that I got off of the internet. So let's go ahead and add a slide here. We'll go ahead and say select an image. If we want to search.
This is kind of the secret sauce in Haiku Deck.
Yeah.
Look at all that.
So I'm searching.
And these are all Creative Commons licensed photos, so you can feel free to use these in your presentation.
Yeah, he says this is Adam Tratt, of course, the CEO of Haiku Deck, says, we not only help you find the perfect images for your deck, but we automatically pull in the license information and attribution as well.
Oh, good.
So that's good. So if I wanted,
that was one of the questions I had, is if they fulfilled the license 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A great picture of birds. Yeah, this is a nice one. Then all of a sudden I've got this, yeah, I like that. That sounds good. And then I go ahead and add some goo goo gaga text.
So is that a haiku goo goo gaga?
No, that's just me not knowing what else to say.
I think you have to mention a season, like goo goo gaga spring, and then it would be a haiku.
Time spring.
Yeah. There, now it's a haiku.
This is a nonsensical Haiku Deck.
No, really?
Yes, really. Yeah, but I love this. I mean, this is like one of the easiest presentation apps
The thing
ever.
that's amazing, this is completely free.
Totally free.
I noticed at the end, the last slide does say made by Haiku, but that's fine. Doesn't bother me.
Totally fine. And you have a variety of themes that you can choose from. I don't even know if we got into that last week. I am right on a theme called 575 right now, but I can move to picaresque or origami or cinematic.
Now,
So, and then some of the themes are pay-for themes. So So Haiku Deck can make a
here's
little
where
bit
they
of
make
money
it.
that
Okay,
way.
so it's
Yeah.
freemium. Now, if the nice thing is the iPad, I think we probably talked about this before, is a nice little portable presentation thing because you can use AirPlay. If, you know, and sometimes people even bring an Apple TV with them and hook that up to a big screen and then use AirPlay to play to it. But there's also connectors. There's a VGA connector that works with your iPad.
Right.
So you don't need to bring a laptop with you. And there's something about touching the screen for your presentation. I think, you know, you can hold it like this. If you're doing it wirelessly, it's even better. You just hold it like this and give your speech.
You know, one of the, I mean, obviously the most obvious presentation app would be Keynote. That's Apple's own app. It's $10 in the App Store.
I love Keynote, and I bought it.
Have you used it regularly? Because I've sort of, and this is just, I don't know, maybe it's just me not having a time to get too into it, and I also get distracted easily. But I find Keynote somewhat unintuitive.
Yeah.
I guess maybe just because something like Haiku Deck is simple enough.
Easy.
Yeah. But Keynote's got, I mean, this is on the cat theme. I was playing around with Keynote.
I use Keynote on the desktop for when I stopped doing slides.
Why?
On my speeches. I just want people to look into my eyes and not pay any attention to anything else when I'm talking.
Really?
Look into my eyes. See, it works. No, I hypnotized you.
Yeah.
No, I'm lazy. I don't want to do a lot of big slide decks, but also my laziness is justified because I do find when you're giving a speech, you open the slide and you always have to say, okay, read the slide now. Okay, now I can talk. It distracts people. They go and they read the slide, then they come back to you. So I feel like I should be, you know, interesting enough that I don't need to have slides behind me. On the other hand, if you're doing a business presentation where you've got numbers or you've got graphs, and there are certainly reasons you'd need it. The kind of presentations I do, I decided to stop using slides, so I haven't done a deck in a few years.
Keynote is nice.
And I used Keynote. I love Keynote.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's absolutely worth, you know, the $10 if you want to put a lot of effort into it.
And if you use Keynote on the Mac, you can move your keynotes over to the iPad. There are differences in capabilities.
That's correct.
But in general, you can work on a presentation on the desktop and then move it over to the iPad and present with the Keynote on the iPad.
Yeah, and there's a variety of transitions, and you know, you can have like stuff dissolve in and out, and
I do feel like
and
that
various stuff like
people are so tired of PowerPoint, which everybody's used for years.
Yeah,
and you know, there's a certain look that a PowerPoint has. So when somebody pulls up PowerPoint, you go, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I go, oh. Yeah, I don't really want, I feel like that's, I don't want to see PowerPoint. So anything that's different, like even Haiku Deck, is going to get people's attention. They're going to be happy that hey, at least she's not using PowerPoint. It may be about cats.
Well, it
but at least
always
she's not using
should be. See, the thing, if you're going to present something, if you're going to do a keynote, like an actual keynote on cats, you want to see some cats.
Yeah, well,
man.
You're right. It's true. If I did keynotes about cats, I would use slides.
I mean, yeah, the whole idea of this is you've got a variety of different tools to achieve a variety of different things. Have you heard of an app called BaiBoard HD?
No.
Because this was suggested via email by Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, by the way. And I had not heard of it either. And it's kind of cool. So if I've got BaiBoard up here on, I've pulled it up on my iPad. I am...
BAI.
Yeah.
It's a collaborative whiteboard.
That's right. So what I've done is, yeah, so the idea is that you and I can be in different places, or maybe we're even in the same room and, you know, we're just sort of sketching out together. This is the whiteboard that I have added some sort of nonsensical stuff to. I pulled in a photo from Dropbox because I linked my Dropbox account. I can show you how to do that again really easily. I can, ugh, I don't want that picture. Clear selected. I can.
So it's kind of screen sharing.
Yeah. So I've got my little pen tool so I can draw stuff. I've got my text tool, so you know you can go ahead and join the conversation.
Oh, but you can't bring in like an existing set of slides. You have to create a whiteboard that you're working on together.
Well, you can bring in all sorts of stuff, like anything that you have on Dropbox or Google Drive, for example.
Okay.
And then I can say to you, like, let's say if you're in there at the same time, we can be talking, we can be text chatting as we're contributing to the whiteboard. I can take a snapshot of something if I want to save it for later, some point in time. This is the Canvas sharing over Wi-Fi, and then at this point, I can save a bunch of stuff. But let's say that I was like, okay, I'm ready to share this with Leo. I have a few different ways that I can bring you into the live collaboration tool, via email, via iMessage. I can copy it to the clipboard, or I can share it via Facebook. And then you've got a variety of settings here just to make it like, what is it supposed to look like? You can add a presentation password. You can sort of change the borders. I've got a grid behind me. I don't have to have that if I don't want to. But this is kind of fun because you and I don't do a lot of this stuff, but hey, what if we were designing a new app?
There are times when you need to do this kind of collaboration.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
iPad only, and it's free.
Correct.
That's good.
Yeah, there's a couple of different tools from BaiBoard. This one is called, if you search for BaiBoard HD, it comes up as, I believe, BaiBoard Collaborative Method.
Looks like it works on a desktop as well.
Oh, really?
Well, it looks like an iMac to me.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Chad, if you zoom out a little, and then collaborative whiteboard, yeah.
Okay.
But BaiBoard
limited.
HD is what comes up. So that's kind of neat, and I hadn't heard of it. Now, Prezi is something that we touched on last week.
I'm a fan. I've used Prezi. Again, this was part of my quest to do something different. And I think if you're doing slides, it almost is incumbent on you to do something that is going to get people's attention and look a little bit different. And boy, Prezi really does. It's interesting. They use this at the high school, my kids' high school.
Okay.
The teachers use this because it gives you now. I don't have a Prezi currently. I don't have a Prezi account, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But these are some Prezis that they like: biogas, power of you. Prezi plus iPad equals feed. How about free falling through Prezi? You want to try that? So we're going to download this presentation. And one of the things Prezi does, it has a desktop app, which is Adobe Air, and it has an iPad app. You generally will download the Adobe Air. You have to pay for this, by the way. There's a yearly subscription, and it's expensive, so I'll explain that in a second. But you'll download that. You can have your Prezis. You create Prezis on the desktop or create Prezis on your iPad. You often want to present through a Prezi. So this is free-falling through Prezi presentation. So did you see what happened there? Let me go back again. Okay, so the first thing is, Prezi isn't a stack of slides. Prezi is a big, imagine a giant canvas of which we only see a certain part. And Prezi will zoom and swipe and swoop into and out of these slides, which immediately, see that? Now let's go back again.
That's cool.
That attracts people's attention. Now, this next slide is a little tiny thing here.
Right.
That we're going to swoop over to. And when you're creating Prezis, you can just pinch and zoom and do all of that, right? So in fact, if I zoom out, this is the whole presentation in one big canvas.
Oh, cool.
But I'll go back to, so watch. So as you're presenting, this is what it looks like. It's swooping in and out. Ooh, we zoomed in. So this is a good way to, draw people's eye. Prezi is a little bit more limited. It's really more about these presentations. You can embed video, images, of course. It has some limited fonts and styles. But I have to say, this does attract people's eyes. It also is interesting because Prezis are interactive. So as you saw, I can be in the middle of a presentation and I can add some text or add some content to the Prezi, which is kind of cool. I can't right now because this is read-only. But while you're doing it, you could say, oh, well, let's come up with 5 solutions. And I can actually put them into the presentation as we're going. So it's a little bit more interactive. I think that's one of the reasons teachers like this. And you certainly, it's very interactive. So again, you'll probably want to look at this on a desktop. You should also look, and let me show you at the pricing, because it is not cheap. There is free, you can create free presentations. All your Prezis will be public, so you don't have any way to make them private. And you get 100 megabytes of space. For $59 a year, you can have private presentations. And I think if you're doing speeches or business presentations, you probably want them to be private. You can use your own logos and get rid of the Prezi logo. And there's a little more storage. This is the one I used to have. But $159 a year. which allows you to use the Prezi desktop application. You really do want to use that. For instance, if you don't pay for this, you have to always be online. Your Prezis are being loaded and played off the internet. So you kind of want, you end up, I tried all the versions, you end up spending $159 a year, which is an awful lot to be doing Prezis. On the other hand, if you do a lot of presentations,
well, or if you're school or something,
or if you're
and
school,
you can get a, you know, like you've got 9 teachers.
I wish they didn't charge as much. You know, Microsoft Office, the whole thing is $100 a year.
Right.
So $159 for a presentation program seems like a little bit much. Now, they're doing very well. I just saw some stats. I think they have millions of users. So people like Prezi. It's certainly worth looking at. Try the free version, make a few presentations of your own. But I really do think you're going to want to buy the desktop app. It makes it much easier to create Prezis if you have a standalone desktop app.
What do they use Prezi for in your son's school?
Well, think about it. For teaching, it's great. So you might have a curriculum of stuff. You know, teachers are always trying to get pupils' eyeballs, and you imagine teaching teenagers today. They are very literate. They have many screens going on. They're constantly bombarded with stuff. So you need to kind of grab them. But what I like about the Prezi is it's interactive. You can pause in the middle of a presentation, add content. You can ask the students about stuff. You can use it in a way. The structure can also be used to demonstrate content. I do this with all my slideshow programs, Keynote too. I try to show in the structure of the presentation the structure of the talk. So I'll do a big wipe, a big transition as I move from one major topic to another, and simpler transitions as I move from idea to idea, things like that. Prezi, you can use it to show physically drilling down. So here's the big outline. Let's drill down point by point. And you're actually zooming into each point. And so there's some, I think there's some nice elements of Prezi. You can make the Prezi presentation in such a way that it makes people seasick, because it swoops so much. Well, you saw even with the one I did, there's a lot of swooping and diving. You can have your presentation rotate. So I think it takes a little more work because Prezi is so freeform. But it's certainly worth looking at. It's definitely unique. And obviously people like it.
There is also an app called Electric Slide. This was also
this is a good app, actually.
You know this one?
Well, yeah.
Suggested by a viewer as well. And now I forget your name. I'm so sorry. If you're in the chat room, speak up. But what's cool about Electric Slide is that, okay, so I had a presentation that I created in Keynote, Sam's Big Day. This was something I converted to PDF from within Keynote. It's easy to do. And then I pulled into Electric Slide. Okay, so PDF, what's the deal now? So this is my presentation. Sounds good. What I have created for myself is a little online place where this presentation can be broadcast. So Leo and everyone here at Twit can, if I touch the little broadcast now button, now I am live at electricslide.net/Sarah Lane, and you could connect to that URL and follow along with my presentation about what Sam did and what he loves. And of course, this is PDF mode, so some of the stuff like the dissolves and the transitions that I added in Keynote are stripped out.
But it does support PowerPoint.
Yeah, it does.
So it really can be simple. You could think of it as a way to broadcast a PowerPoint presentation.
A bunch of people you guys are gonna love this presentation, I'll tell you what.
Are people talking to you? Are there people in the presentation?
Yeah, they're because I said what the URL was. Yeah.
So people are actually joining you?
Yeah, no.
The room is full?
And just to let you know, it's electricslide.net.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, I think so.
Wow. You filled up the room already.
Well, so here's the thing, is that because Electric Slide is free, I have a limited number of users that can join a room, and I have a limited amount of storage space. So I've used 6% of my allotted storage. Now, if I wanted to upgrade, you get a lot more space, you could have more viewers, you could have longer videos. By the way, what I'm doing here, and yeah, there's some pricing plans, 3 months for $27, 6 months for $49, these are sort of odd pricing, 12 months for $80. But so I pulled in a document.
There must be good
I could
money
also
in this
pull in
business,
slides.
this presentation business.
Or I could also pull in videos. Pretty much, I have a variety of things that I can broadcast, and if I wanted to return to the broadcast here, there's cool stuff that I can do. I can add a little laser pointer so I can be like, okay, this is what I'm talking about here, so that you're not seeing my hands.
You need that, yeah.
If you're at the electricslide.net URL, but it's that, that can be helpful. I can go ahead and share an image on the fly with my people. If I'm maybe teaching some sort of a class, an online thing or whatever. And then I've got some settings that I can toggle through while I'm live as well. I can AirPlay, obviously, this presentation. All of this stuff, by the way, you have a variety of options of where you actually want to present your presentation. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. Sorry for everybody who joined. It wasn't really that fun of a broadcast, but
that's kind of cool, though.
Yeah, it's kind of
people
neat.
all over the internet were joining your little show. Did you show them cats?
Well, yeah, I showed. Yeah,
more cats.
It was Sam. It was a picture of Sam and some stuff that he likes to do.
You should do a cat cast, like every week. Just do a little electric slide cat cast.
A little something, something.
Something, something.
I would be fine with that. That just sounds fun.
Kitties on parade.
Well, I'm always trying to figure out how the tech and animal worlds can. I have my cooking tech show idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Tech and animals.
Why don't we cook dog food?
No. Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
No, we wouldn't cook animals, but we'd cook food for animals.
Well,
how about
food
this?
for animals are often made from animals.
The vegetarian animal cooker show.
Weird. That's just weird. I once had to dog sit for some people who their dog was vegetarian.
Dogs should not be vegetarian.
Because they wanted her to be vegetarian, and
God
it was
did not make him vegetarian.
Odd. It was odd.
So you're a vegetarian. Would you feed a dog meat?
I'm pescatarian.
Okay, but you're not going to feed a dog fish, would you?
My cats eat meat.
She eats meat? All right.
I have 2 cats. A boy and a
She's
girl.
She and he eat meat?
Yeah, they eat meat. My gosh. I mean, what? Although, well, it doesn't matter. So, yes, that's right. Electric slide. By the way, Dion Norman, Dion, maybe you're the one who told me about Electric Slide, said you can't create Google presentations on an iPad yet, but you could share them as a PowerPoint and then open in something like Keynote or Electric Slide. So if you're in the Google world and you think, this stuff is also limiting though, none of these apps really work for me, consider importing from Google. So what do you say? Are you ready to present? No, you're just going to walk up and down a stage with your big bellowing voice.
I do. That's all I do.
Yeah.
And I say, look at me, look at me.
Well, you're
Don't
very,
look over there.
you are very, you've got a good stage presence.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And even if I didn't, I would still do that. Because I'm lazy. Keynote is my favorite, and I love Keynote. And I think, though, it's really important to do something that, at least if you're going to do slides, do something that's different. And it's not just a deck of slides.
Well, it's not just about the tool, right? It's about what you want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like...
well, you're looking for a tool that will let you express yourself.
Yeah. I find public speaking to be very scary, even though this is different, because I am really comfortable.
It's the scariest thing a human can do.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. I like to talk to robots, in this case cameras, but I don't like to be up in front of a lot of people. So I find that when giving a presentation, not only does it keep me on track, but it's my crutch, right? Like if I choke, I've got my presentation, so people aren't just looking at me, you know, as I'm sweating bullets up there. Hey,
it's
so
scary.
We talked about a bunch of stuff here. We got Keynote, we got Haiku Deck, we got BaiBoard HD, Prezi Electric Slide. Keynote and Prezi are the only ones that even cost you anything. Although, as we mentioned, there are some in-app purchases or upgrades that some of these apps provide that probably make it a little bit more fun for you to use. But there's a lot of good stuff there, so hopefully that was helpful. And thanks to everybody who gave us some ideas as well for these presentations, because a couple of these I hadn't heard of. And if you want the links to the apps that we mentioned, or you have any questions, or what they talk about, what's the name of that, anything like that, just you can visit us at twit.tv/IPT. That is where our show archives live. Last week, we talked about a lot of Google Reader alternatives.
Yeah.
And
what do you think now?
We got some feedback about that as well.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it in a moment.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Our show today brought to you by GoToMeeting. Now, this is actually another presentation tool. But it's so much more really than a presentation tool. You certainly have the screen sharing capability, and that means anything that's on your computer or your iPad, you can present from an iPad, can be shown to any number of people in a meeting, but you also have video, which is really cool, HD video on top of that. So you've got to try this because it's really cool. You'll see you can move the video to the top, the bottom, the left, or the right. Here's a little little image of a woman using her iPhone to attend a meeting. You could do that too. By the way, you can use the iPhone as a phone at the meeting, but you can also use the built-in internet capabilities of the speakers and the microphone on an iPhone or iPad, and you don't have to make a phone call at all. Plus, you can see their screen, you can see their faces. If you're using an iPad, it'll use the camera on the iPad so they can see you too, and the video is crystal clear. They see your presentation. It is the greatest way. It's so much more than just like a screen sharing app. Because it's like meeting in person. Very easy to start a meeting. You just send out an email. It's pretty automatic. Your attendees just click a link, even if they don't have the software installed. It'll install in minutes or seconds, really, pretty quickly, and there they are, meeting with you. Projects that can take weeks, decisions that can take days, done in a jiff. It's the way to be more efficient in business when you can get that entire team together on the same page, seeing each other in a meeting, gathering them all together. GoToMeeting with HD Faces. You want to try it? Good news. We got it free for 30 days just for you. Go to GoToMeeting.com. Use the promo code iPad after you click that orange Try It Free button. GoToMeeting.com. Promo code is iPad and 30 days free. It really is a fun program to use with a team. And I'm serious. It gets stuff done faster. That's kind of the whole bottom line. More effective communication. GoToMeeting.com. Use the offer code iPad. So I'm
mother of all meeting tools.
I've been playing with all the things we talked about last week, the Feedly and everything. I don't have a good, an adequate replacement, I don't think, yet for Google Reader.
Now, we did get, I was going to talk about this later, but let's talk about it now. Okay. We did get a follow-up from Jeremy Windmiller, that says, please let Leo know he can change the view in Feedly to a list view.
Yeah, I figured that out.
To gain speed, because that was one of your complaints.
I figured that out.
It was a little too flipboardy.
Yeah, it does do that.
But that's not good enough.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm used to Reader and all the buttons and features and stuff like that. But I just like Reader. I like the way it did it. It was very... You know, you learn how a tool works, and you get good at that tool, and then they pull the rug out from under you.
Hey, did you know that Apple has added two-step authentication to iCloud?
Hallelujah! I did not know that.
Just happened. Just happened. It's fresh off the
So how are they going to do that?
Well, it's weird. Okay, so yeah, if you go to I guess it's iCloud.apple.com. Yeah. Then you have the option to, you sign into your iCloud account, or I'm sorry, you sign into your Apple ID account, and I have several.
This is a great idea.
Yeah, and then what's weird about my experience is that, and that's a 9 to 5 Mac article that just kind of shows you the steps of how you get through all of this. But what you do is you manage your Apple ID.
Fantastic.
You go ahead and log in.
Fantastic.
And then what's weird though is that I realized, oh, okay, so my me.com, so because I've got a few different ones, I'm like, what's the one that means the most to me? Where all my stuff is synced and I associate with iCloud. And then after I went through all of the processes, it said, your password is not good enough for two-step authentication. Make it harder. So I went, okay. Wow. So I capitalized some stuff, and like added some numbers, whatever, whiz bang. And then it said, you must wait 3 days. We want to make sure that this was really you.
They give you a chance to fix it if it's not you. So that they send you, you'll get an email saying, hey, did you just change your setup, your password and so forth?
Right.
And they give you 3 days to say, whoa, that wasn't me. And I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, so I'm sort of in the process.
Good on Apple for fixing this.
Yeah, well, there were a couple of those ridiculous... Matt Honan is the most well-known case of where things got really, really nutty. Because it just wasn't secure enough.
So do I have to go to Apple on my desktop to turn this on? Can I do this from my iPad?
I don't think. Well,
it seems like you should.
Well, you probably could.
Isn't this the goal of the iPad, that I don't have to have a desktop?
Well, but I mean, just use Safari, right? Yeah.
Well, I went to iCloud.com. So where should I go?
So let me make sure.
Say that address again.
All right, hold on a second. I think it was...
I want to turn this on. And by the way, they said they will send you a text message, or that you can use Find My iPhone or Find My iPad to get your key. I guess it'll have a code generator.
AppleID.apple.com.
Ah, okay.
Apple ID. Yeah, it's not just for iCloud, it's your Apple ID.
And you really do want, I'm telling you, so what the idea of two-factor authentication...
Yeah, let's
I should explain this for people who don't listen to security now, like on a religious basis. There's 3 ways you can verify that you are who you say you are, something you know, something you have, or something you are. So something you know is a password.
Yeah.
That's a single factor, but you could have up to 3. Something you have would be a key fob generator, code generator, your smartphone, something you physically have. It's nice if you combine the two. So a password plus a code that's generated on your phone, that means a bad guy would have to figure out what your password was and have your phone. That makes it pretty darn hard. Sometimes there are cases where they add a third factor of something you are. That would be biometric, a fingerprint or an iris scan. All 3 of those together is the top level, top grade of security. Very few people implement that. Although some network operation centers, for instance, you have to have all 3 to get into the network operation center, things like that. But 2-factor is really effective. More banks, I use it with my bank. They send me I log on to my bank with my password, and they say, okay, you got the password right, but now we're going to send you a code on either via email or via your cell phone, and you need to enter that code. And so in order for this to work, I'd have to have access to my email or have access to my phone. That's the second factor.
This is something that Google has offered for a long time, and
Google's is a little different. It's 2-step.
Somewhat recently, I had linked my Gmail. And
turn it on, though. Yeah. It's a pain in the butt.
I'm adding codes left and right, but it's worth it.
It's a pain in the butt, but on accounts that you really want to keep private, and Google's a good one, Apple's iCloud is a good one, and your bank's a good one. 2-factor, second factor, makes it geometrically, exponentially harder for a bad guy to hack your system. And I think that's a good thing. So I guess, okay, I'm going to go to my Apple ID, and I'm going to say, I want to turn on.
So what you do is you just manage
my Apple ID.
Yeah.
I can do this. Now I have to log on. I won't do that right now, but that's good. So I'll log on
and then once you're in, then you hit your password security settings, and then you go through the process of enabling.
Thank you, Apple, for doing that.
Yeah. So
I have to think it has to do with the Matt Honan hack, because it was Apple and the secret questions I think that Apple uses that got those bad guys in there.
You know what's actually also kind of interesting is that Apple has updated GarageBand. That's an app we haven't talked about in a while. In fact, we haven't done music apps in a while. No. Neither Leo nor I are very musically inclined, so we're such horrible examples of what you can create with.
Every time we demo a synthesizer app, it's like, sorry.
Look at this piano. That sounds terrible. But GarageBand has been updated with support for the Audiobus inter-app communication standard.
Ooh, that sounds heavy duty.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, at first I was like, I don't know what that means. But the idea is that Apple's apps that communicate with each other in iOS is not always working that well. This is actually Chad, if you want to just sort of like play that in the background. This is an Audiobus introduction for explaining how, if you've got a bunch of music apps on your iPad, well, some of them are somewhat effective, but they'd be really a lot more effective if you could work with them together. So now the developers of Audiobus created an app. So there's the Audiobus app, but they also have an accompanying API that's sort of like a traffic switchboard, so that if you're a music creator like Jason Howell, he does a lot of music when he's not working at Twit, to mix audio inputs from a variety of apps that implement that API. GarageBand is now also implementing that API, which is weird for Apple because
it's an industry standard.
Well, it's. Yeah, you could call it that, but it's something that Apple hasn't done before. So it kind of makes you wonder, what is, if Apple's going to do this with GarageBand, and of course GarageBand is very specific, maybe we can look forward to apps talking to each other that work in similar ways.
Or wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be nice? Agreed.
Or maybe the whole professional tool chain could all work together over Audiobus or whatever the video equivalent is. That would be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's neat.
So that's kind of cool.
I presume there are other apps that, we're seeing them right there that support this.
Yes.
So you can chain them all together.
Quite a few of them. So now you can automatically import this kind of stuff from other apps, stuff that you're creating in other apps into GarageBand.
Yeah.
So you're not necessarily having to do everything natively from within the GarageBand interface, although obviously it's a pretty cool app. So if anyone out there, and I know that some of you are watching or listening, have made use of this or plan to and can show us something cool, maybe make a little video or a little presentation, if you will, do let us know, because we'd love to see it.
I don't think second factor's enabled on all Apple ID accounts, because I'm not getting it as an offer. They're still asking me to update my security questions. So maybe they're rolling it out over a period of time. I sure would like to turn that on.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. Password.
She's been doing this all day.
Password and security.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't. That's it.
Oh well, see, no. You have to get through your security questions to.
No, they say please. Oh, please answer them.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answers are.
Well,
maybe I'll call Matt Honan. He'll know.
That's dumb.
What was the name of your best friend in high school?
Don't.
I didn't even have any friends in high school.
Well, see,
Can I say Chester the cat?
If that was your question.
My only friend.
That's all right, weirdo. So, did you know that ABC, supposedly, is working on an app to stream live programming to tablets? Not just iPads, but mobile devices in general.
Yeah.
But what's weird about it is that if you're someone like me, I get ABC for free using an over-the-air antenna.
Can't use it.
But it's not for people like me. It's for people who can prove that they have a cable subscription.
Account. I know.
What the heck?
Those cable companies, they're really grinding it out of those the content creators.
Well,
that's what it is.
It's like an HBO Go type of a thing.
Exactly the same thing. And I don't blame HBO or ABC. I blame the cable companies. They're saying, you want to stay on the cable, you better make sure that we don't lose any customers to your internet efforts. Don't you remember on Tech TV we had to sign deals with the cable companies that said, don't worry, we'll never broadcast more than 10 minutes of any show on the internet. And that was because the cable companies, even then, were terrified about networks putting their content online.
Yeah, in fact, our website, as much as we all worked on it, there was very little video.
Little chunks. We couldn't put whole shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think those agreements are pretty much still standard in the industry. So ABC has no choice.
This could be a good thing. I mean, a lot of you are cable subscribers, and we're certainly not saying it's a bad thing. I just happen to not be, so I'm like, well.
You're out of luck.
I'm not getting any extra ABC content on my iPad. But if you have a cable subscription and you're on the go, you would be able to.
How do you watch Game of Thrones if you don't have a cable subscription? You go over to a friend's house.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I do. I'm not home.
I go and watch it at the Palace of Legion of Honor.
What's actually neat though, because the HBO Go iPad app now uses AirPlay, anybody who has a cable subscription just comes over to my house so we can watch the show on my fancy speakers.
You need to invite somebody over with an iPad and a cable subscription.
Yeah, that subscribes to HBO.
Hi.
Always watch Game of Thrones with a friend.
This is Sarah Lane. You may remember me from high school. Do you have an HBO subscription?
Would you like to come over? I will provide the pizza. Could you bring wine though? I'm out. Yeah, no, it's a delicate process, but it works. Luckily, there are so many. You never watch alone, so that's good. There's so many Game of Thrones fans. Oh, I know. Hey, anytime you want me to come over with my iPad. Good. I have a cable subscription. On the 31st, I'd be happy to watch it again. You've seen it. You know how it ends. But I watch every episode like 3-4 times. I know. So you tell me that. It's good stuff. You watch before it ends, after it ends, over again the next night. Yeah. Awesome. I watched the season finale of last year. Of season 2. Right. The night before I watched the. You got it. Because I need it to be fresh, or I forget. Who's dead? Who's not dead? Who's dead? Who's Arya? Why are they mad? Sansa? Is she the queen? I don't know. Sansa. Dire Wolves. Ooh. So this is kind of cool. If you are a Hulu Plus iPad app user, I am. I actually watch a lot of Hulu when I'm at the gym on my iPad. Yep. See, there's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. You don't need a cable subscription for that. You just pay $7.99 a month, and you got Hulu Plus. Yeah. And that's most of the TV shows, right? Well, yeah. A lot. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's limited, and you're on like. There are definitely restrictions on Hulu Plus, but I do pay for it, and I do like it. It's worth $8, believe me. Between my Roku, so you don't need a cable. My Apple TV, and my iPad. All. Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty good. But Hulu Plus iPad app, you might not notice this. It's been updated with a Kids Lock. So all you parents out there, when the Kids Lock is now on, it's limited to ad-free. This is what they call it. Ad-free, safe, and enjoyable content from our selection of kids programming. I think that's appropriate. Yeah. Is there stuff, though, on Hulu Plus that's real adult? No. Yeah. There is on HBO Go. Well, that's different, right? Yeah, I mean, talk about Game of Thrones. Yeah. But no, I mean, I don't know that you're going to see a lot of, But you might not want the kids to watch Family Guy, for instance. A lot of parents won't. Or Mob Wives, where people are yelling and talking about stuff and smoking and beating each other up, and that's. It's like so I've heard that's what Mob Wives is all about. I wouldn't watch trashy television like that. But yeah, so if you're a parent or you just I don't know, really like to watch kids programming, you can make it so that
they updated the Apple TV too for the Hulu Plus app. Same thing.
Yeah.
On Apple TV. Yeah.
And it looks really nice.
It does.
It looks nice.
Looks more like Netflix, oddly enough.
In fact, I don't really use Hulu Plus on my Roku anymore because the Apple TV experience is just better.
Better.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I get the HBO app, I don't know what I'm going to do with Roku besides watch Twit.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. No, I still like the Roku is. I'll get off on a tangent about cord cutting. Hey, so we got a little present, and you know I don't.
Wow, it's a Thigh Master. We were talking about this last week.
I don't condone people sending us gifts because we don't really need any gifts. No, that's not what you do. Get that out of your groin.
It doesn't open.
Stop it.
Oh, this isn't a Thigh Master.
So here's what you do.
What is that?
Put your legs together. Grow up. There you go.
I'm never going to grow up.
And then your
you put your iPad in here?
goes in there, and what this is.
Well, this is like what we showed last week.
This is exactly what we showed last week. We had somebody write in and said, "Hey, have you heard of the iRest from Rain Design?"
Is this the same?
Really
is
nice.
this it? Oh, it is it. Oh,
this
okay.
is it. So this is the iRest from Rain Design, and then Jeff, what's your last name, Jeff? Jeff Huffman. See there, the whole thing is designed to basically be on your lap, so you don't have to hold anything, but you're also not sort of like balancing your smart cover on your lap as well. Good grief! It's not a sleep aid.
Oh, sorry, it seems to have worked.
It's very comfortable though.
It's very relaxing.
I kind of like it, yeah, because I sit on the couch. And I'm sort of laying. I've got my iPad.
You don't want to like cross your legs though, because that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do
Wouldn't
that.
want to do that.
Try to use critical thinking when.
Is that what that's called?
When you
Okay.
when you put
it doesn't. It's not very. It's not like it. You have to have.
The whole.
It's good if you like to plank.
The whole idea is that it's comfortable, right? And these are sort of like these squishy.
These are
little,
squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. And then you can also adjust.
Or you could pretend you're driving a light cycle.
Or that. And that's not really going to help you use your iPad that much.
Well, it would be if I have a light cycle app on here.
But anyway, yeah, so Jeff sent this to us. He wanted us to look at it and love it. Yeah, thank you.
It's yours.
That's really
all
nice.
yours.
Thanks. And nobody sent us any more gifts. So.
No, well, we got another gift coming up, so please keep the cards and letters coming in and the free stuff, because we like it.
What do you mean?
Don't send me a razor. won't be needing that.
Nope, don't need a
but
razor.
If you want to send me one of those Don Johnson, things that, the beard munchers, that would be okay.
What are you talking about?
There's a special clipper you use. You set it to like 3, right?
Oh,
and
it's supposed.
And you run it over your beard, and it doesn't cut it too short.
So you always have a 5 o'clock shadow?
Yeah.
That's okay.
I know. I don't know why anybody would do that.
But isn't that whatever?
But no, there's a market for that.
It's
though.
the Clooney look. People love it.
Yeah, a lot. I see. To me, I look scruffy. I don't feel like I look sexy.
You're not giving it enough time, though. I think sometimes men look better with beards. Not all men. Some men do, though. So let's find out.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna give it 6 weeks, and then I'm gonna have a straw poll.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna just say beard, yes or no. I'm gonna say beard, yes, I'm a woman. No, I'm a woman. Beard, yes, I'm a man. No, I'm a man, because I don't care what the men think.
I see.
I only want to know what
So you're just gonna toss out those
think.
results from your highly scientific survey.
Already, there's voting against it, but it's Keith. I think that's a guy. I don't care.
He also said loose the beard, so maybe he would just like you to loosen it. That means grow, I think.
Loose the beard.
Loose it.
Let loose the beard.
Hey, so Leo, we actually have a new sponsor on iPad today. We've never had this sponsor
I'm so
before.
excited. Rackspace is here.
Yeah, I love Rackspace.
Now, exactly. I don't think I have to tell anybody who Rackspace is. They're famous for their kind of world-renowned fanatical support. They're also very famous, and rightly so, for supporting the open cloud. In fact, they teamed up with NASA to co-found the OpenStack Alliance, and now they run the world's largest open cloud. What does that mean? Well, if you are looking for a place to host your stuff or build apps, databases, you want to do it on an open cloud so you're not stuck with a single vendor or a single proprietary technology. So many of these cloud computing solutions, I won't name names, but I think you probably already know, are proprietary, and that's why I love Rackspace, because they support open standards, they support open cloud, so you're never locked into a single provider. You have the freedom to move your apps, your code, your websites between multiple OpenStack-based clouds, public, or you can even run your own private. You can do them on-premise, you can have them hosted. It's flexibility. So I invite you to build what you want, where you want, how you want. No limits, baby. And still get Rackspace's world-renowned fanatical support. You can try the Open Cloud right now. Download it free at rackspace.com/open. You know I'm a big fan of Open. I believe in Open, and I really support the fact that Rackspace does it. So if you're about ready to deploy an app, to set up your business database, your website, choose Rackspace. Rackspace.com/open. Deploy your Open Cloud today. Yeah, it's nice to have Rackspace along.
Love them. Absolutely love Rackspace. Yep. Hey, so Eric from Florida found an ad. It's in French. It's an advertisement in French, but it proves that tablets don't solve everything.
They don't.
And I thought it was pretty funny, and I thought that we could watch it.
I'll translate while we're going.
Okay.
Emma.
Baby, let me show you my iPad. Huh? See, I draw a face on it.
Emma.
Emma. Post-it notes. Why use an iPad? Yeah, that's sure. She's
Emma.
Right. Emma. I guess his wife's named Emma. Everything she could do with paper, she could do on the iPad. Print, Sudoku.
Emma.
Emma. Why are you reading a book? You could read it on the iPad.
Emma.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Emma got him. Le papier a un grand avenir. It's a toilet paper ad.
I
like
laughed.
That's funny.
I laughed.
Yeah.
Emma.
There's one place you're not going to have a paperless office.
Well, you know, it's funny. On TNT this morning, Jeff Becklar from CNET was our guest, and we were talking about Google Keep. And is it, you know, a replacement for Evernote? It's sort of this note-taking thing that's integrated with Google Drive now. And he was kind of like, I still use sticky notes. I don't know, sometimes you don't necessarily need a digital solution for something that actually works. Now, I tend to want to have a digital solution for everything. So I don't necessarily agree with Jeff when it comes to sticky notes. I don't use sticky notes anymore. But it's true sometimes that I think we get a little bit out of control about, well, you could do this on your iPad.
Right.
And sometimes it's a great solution, and sometimes it's creating an iPad app just to create an iPad app.
You could always do it on your iPhone instead.
That's right.
Or a desktop computer.
Or that, yeah. Although everything that they showed off in the toilet paper commercial was all cool. Like, why buy Sudoku books when you could just do Sudoku on your iPad?
Go ahead and try to download a podcast on a roll of toilet paper. I defy you to do that.
You defy them?
I defy you to do that.
Okay.
Did you see, somebody in the chat room keeps saying that the podcast app is updated.
Oh, yeah?
On iOS.
Well, is it updated to make it better?
Well, that'll be a good question.
Because I kind of stopped paying attention, honestly.
Me too. First of all, they're great third-party apps. We like, Instacast we like.
Instacast, Downcast is another good one.
Downcast is very good. But looking at the new podcast app, what they really need to do is fix some of the bugs, like breaking feeds and so forth. And it does look good. Let's just we'll play a Mac Break Weekly. I'm seeing album art.
It's gonna be an interesting show.
I'm not seeing, which I like, a reel-to-reel tape recorder anywhere. Is that gone? That would be kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There was a lot of skeuomorphism. You know, this might be the beginning of the end of skeuomorphism with the departure of Scott Forstall. I have a feeling that he was the big proponent, apparently, according to the inside rumor folks, of skeuomorphism. That is, making a piece of paper on a screen actually look like a piece of paper. You know, if you look at the classic on this is the Notes application on the iPad, where we have a leather portfolio with stitching. The top of the paper is slightly torn. You can see previous. That's called skeuomorphism, where you're making it look like the real world. I think in the early days of computing, maybe it made sense to do that because it grounded people. You know, to have a trash can icon made sense. But people complained about the podcast app, saying, you know, there's no reason to have a reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Look what I found.
You found it? Is it still there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
How'd you get? Oh.
There it is. It's sort of,
it really doesn't
sort of
add.
dark,
it's like a lot of effort spent.
I assure you, it's there.
And a lot of screen real estate spent to really not add any value. So how did you get to that?
It hasn't hurt anybody. So what you do is, first of all, it only applies to audio podcasts.
Yeah.
So you have to go ahead.
That's what I am doing.
Okay, you're in the audio podcast.
Maybe you're not up. Maybe you didn't update yet.
Well, I've updated.
Where is it? Where's my tape recorder?
hold on. Okay, so so here I am. This is BBC Radio, In Our Time with Melvin Bragg, right?
Yeah.
So I go ahead and click on it.
Yeah.
I go ahead and say, all right, let's watch or let's listen to this guy. Yeah. And then I say...
Your interface looks very different from mine. I don't know if you updated.
Really?
Look at...
See? Reel to reel.
Yeah, that's the old one.
Well,
I'm glad you've got the old one because people can then see how it used to look.
I just updated 2 seconds before the show.
Now your update.
No.
That's
look,
me.
Look. Oh, shoot, look. Introducing podcast 1.2. Crap. I swear to God, this really did come out like during the show.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Literally. So, actually, I'm glad you didn't update. Because you can see the difference.
Yeah.
The big buttons, the skeuomorphic reel-to-reel. I admittedly, the big album art takes up a lot of space. You know, it doesn't add a lot, but at least you know what you're listening to now, which you didn't before.
So
These buttons are smaller.
If you tap that album art, nothing happens.
Well, what happens is you get a list of other shows you have on. This is a good use of it. So let's hope they fix some of the internal bugs that made it, you know, it was breaking feeds. It wouldn't download all the feeds. They got rid of their reel-to-reel. That is, to me, the first signal we've seen that maybe the reign of skeuomorphism at Apple is dying. If they update Notes, then we'll know.
Well,
Podcast app was getting a lot of hate.
The reel-to-reel functionality, someone in chat room was like, why would anyone get like bent out of shape about that? And I agree with you, person. I feel like, I don't know, it doesn't bother me.
Those weren't really the big complaints about it. Mostly it was that it didn't work, it would break feeds. There were some actual real complaints about it. But what happened was people would say, but some programmers spent a lot of time making those reels because, you know, as they spin, it would get smaller on the left and bigger on the right and all that stuff. And it's like, who spent all that energy? Why'd you spend energy on that when you could have spent energy making the program work right?
It sure would be nice if the Notes app didn't look like a dumb Comic Sans on a yellow pad of paper.
Well, you can't change the font.
I know.
But I don't, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, why does that have to
I'm
default?
not a fan.
It just looks
I agree.
stupid.
I'm not a fan. There's some things, page turns in the early days, that kind of helped you understand that you were actually kind of going to the next page and going backwards for the other thing. There are some things that maybe this kind of real-world interface makes sense. Calendar, though, does it really need a spiral binder at the top here?
You're right. There is no more reel-to-reel tape.
There's no reel-to-reel.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
I don't like this little bit of torn paper that you have on the top of the calendar. I just don't see. These things are a little ugly, frankly. They're just the styles have changed, and the fact that they got rid of that reel-to-reel. You know, it's funny. We were at Apple a couple of weeks ago. John C. Dvorak and I went down there. And that's one of the things I told we met with the iTunes people. I said, can you fix the podcast app?
Now, you were giving me crap about, like, how did I get invited to a Game of Thrones premiere party? Like, you're just going to Apple and giving them advice now, and then they're going to, like...
You.
Well, no, but like, how'd that happen? Let's talk about that. Like, how'd you get so lucky?
Lisa called them and said, we'd like to come down, say hi, Brian Ellis, and the other guy who's his boss, but I don't remember his name, so Brian, I'm sorry. And what is his boss? Oh, Lisa's on the phone. But Lisa Dvorak and I and Glenn Rubenstein from our team, we all went down there because they work, you know, they stay in touch with podcasters. They want to know what's happening, what's going on. How do you like the podcast app? Gave them the thumbs down. They fixed it. I don't know. I'm just powerful.
Wow. That's awesome.
I just got power.
So this is all because of you. We can thank you for this.
Pretty much.
Thank you. That's great. Skeuomorphism will die because of Leo Laporte. He's got talent.
People at Apple.
This guy, I feel like he might have a future. Oh, good. Yeah. I'm glad to know that. Yep. Hey, so this is a duh tip that we have talked about in the past.
It's kind of a big deal.
You are kind of a big deal.
You
People know you.
I would so much rather go to the Game of Thrones premiere.
Your home smells like rich mahogany.
It does.
Yeah.
Fine Corinthian leather, baby.
Right, yeah. Sex Panther.
What?
Doug from Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Wait, if we're going to do Anchorman stuff,
I'm looking that up.
Yeah.
I gotta,
what is it? 90% of the time it works all the time. Doug says, I don't know if this qualifies as a duh tip, and it does. And we have talked about this, but not in a really long time, and I bet there are some iPad Today viewers who are just going to get their minds blown. It says, did you know that you can split the keyboard on the iPad just by pulling the keyboard apart with your fingers?
Yes, we did this.
We have not done this for a while, so I'm just going to show you really quickly. I'm going to show you really quickly and remind people how this works. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Purchased, featured. Okay. Here we go. And whoop. Look at that.
Wow, I like the rip. Does that sound effect come with it?
Fun, huh?
Rip.
Now here's the reason that I'm, first of all, yeah, it's a good reminder. This is like a fun tip. But you might be like Doug and say, why would I ever need this? And Doug said, you know what happened? I was reading my email while I was standing in line one day.
So you can use thumb typing.
And I needed to send a quick response. I split the keyboard and voila, I could thumb type a lot easily in portrait mode. And he says, now I like it a lot. So this is actually something that I've run into as well, because sometimes I am like holding my iPad and I'm not reclining. I don't have, something like the iRest handy, and it's very cumbersome to try to do a lot of typing. So that's something to consider if you find yourself in need of some thumb typing on a regular basis.
As
Otherwise,
I often do.
Do you?
Oh, yes.
Now, I seem to recall being able to...
if you grab the, on the side where you hide the keyboard normally, when you split it apart, it becomes sort of an extra menu, and you can drag it. Click and drag that.
Apparently Chad knows all about this.
Well, now if you long press, you have the option to merge, but if you just grab it and drag it, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, so you could have it at the top, or I don't know, down in the middle, whatever. It's kind of cool. The regular keyboard too, although that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you've got some options there. You can move that thing around.
Yes, you
Back
can.
that thing
up and down.
Up and down and all around.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a voicemail from, we don't know what your name is because you didn't leave it, so we are going to call you Joe.
Hello, Joe.
And Joe has a question about cases and speed.
Hey, guys. I broke down and bought the iPad 3. Sorry, not the iPad 3, the iPad mini. And I bought one of those Survivor cases. Basically, it has a plastic cover on the front. But I've noticed that the performance is slow. And I'm wondering if when you're trying to download your purchased apps, is it just slow because of the connection, or is it actually the device that's doing that? And is maybe because it has that touch cover on there, could that be an issue of slowing the device down? Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.
I can't imagine that would have anything to do with it.
The Mac Mini is essentially an iPad 2. So it is slower than the iPad 3, and it's much slower than the iPad 4, the most recent iPad. So if that's what you're used to, then yes, you'll see it's slower. But in some ways it's not slower. It's kind of somebody said my iPad 1 was fast, my iPad 2 was slow, my iPad 3 was fast. No, the other way around, because the Retina slowed it down a lot. So the iPad, the third generation iPad, was slower than maybe even an iPad mini because it had to push all those pixels. It depends what it's doing. So the mini is the same speed, roughly the same processor and speed as the iPad second generation. If you thought that was slow, well, then it is slow. I don't think it's any slower online, and certainly the smart cover makes no difference.
Well, he said it was like a Survivor case. I mean,
why would it slow it down?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I think he's asking, like, is there a possibility of like some interference or something like that? I really doubt it. I haven't heard anything like that with cases being, I don't know, interfering in downloading of apps or updates.
You still don't have a mini.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you have a mini, but you still don't use a mini.
I use it.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I'm the mini fan, and you like the big one.
I like the big one.
Yeah.
This is my #1 iPad.
But, so the mini is just kind of an extra.
Well, the mini is.
You traveled with it.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It's good for traveling.
And that's yeah. When I went to Miami, it was the only computer I took, just because I was like, well, let's keep it simple.
Right.
And I knew I wasn't going to actually be doing a lot of work. I was just kind of be browsing. And
it was adequate, right?
I have started using it like when I'm hanging out at the end of the day. Got the little mini. I read a few things.
It's almost all I use. I have the big one for the show, and I use the mini all the time, and I've never noticed it being slow. So
no, that's definitely not an issue that I have with the mini.
Yeah.
All right, so now what? Oh yeah, well, let's remind people how you can get a hold of us, because we love featuring you week after week. You have a variety of ways besides harassing Leo and I on Twitter. By the way, why don't you tweet more often? You're not much of a tweeter.
I'm tired.
You're tired? Yeah?
I don't know. I lost interest, I guess.
Every once in a
I
while.
don't Facebook much. I don't tweet much. I don't path much. You don't path at all anymore.
I path a little bit.
Yeah, very little.
Not much,
You
though.
pathed last night. That was about it.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I do some path messaging where I send people stickers because that's the new version of path. But
You've never sent me a sticker.
I will. Would you like one?
I would love one.
You know what? I'm going to do that
I check Path
right
every.
now.
No, don't do any of the show because then I know it's a obligatory show.
Okay.
Show
I will
message.
surprise you.
Surprise me in the middle of the night.
I will surprise you with a sticker that I bought.
Oh yes, yeah.
So it's
like
not
that.
just one of those freebie stickers.
I'd
it's
like
a sticker that I spent $2 on.
I check Path all the time, hoping Sarah will have messaged me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh well, now I know what I
She
can
never
do.
does. So I'll tweet more.
Please do.
I feel like I don't know. Twitter has become a broadcast medium. It's now a promotional thing, right?
It's not just that.
Mostly.
It depends on who you follow. I mean, I follow so many tech journalists because I find
Well,
that,
I do. I follow. I mean, but that's read.
Yeah.
Do you write?
Yeah.
What,
Most of my tweets, honestly, if you look at my account, and I think this applies to a lot of people now. If you look at my account,
responses.
The majority of it, yeah, is like I'm having conversations that most people aren't seeing because
Right.
you have to follow both parties.
Right. That's what I mean. I think Twitter has changed considerably. It used to be more of a conversational medium. I think now it's a broadcast medium
no.
for big names like Ashton Kutcher.
What I'm saying, though, if you go to my profile and you go to my, no, that's not followers, the tweets. Oh, I've sent almost 10,500 tweets. I mean,
Holy moly!
Most of it
but those
is
are all
a
responses.
conversation,
Yeah, those
though.
are all responses.
But that's a conversation, is what I'm saying. I do very little broadcasting because I know that gets annoying.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't broadcast that we were live on this show.
Yeah.
I probably should. I don't know. I just don't want to be too much. But then, I don't know. You almost can't win. But you can reply us on Twitter. And Leo has promised on this show that he's going to start tweeting a lot more and replying to everybody. If he doesn't answer your email,
No, but I'm going to create an
where to
account for
find
my
him.
beard.
Yeah, that's
Leo's beard.
There's already a Tom's beard, you know.
Oh.
It only
Been
lasted.
done.
It only lasted a couple months, and then I think Tom's beard lost interest. But you can write us at iPad today at twit.tv. That's a great, email mechanism. You know, email's not dead yet. I read the emails every week. You can also leave us a voicemail at 757-504-IPAD. Again, 757-504-4723. Or you can send us a video. You know, I mentioned, you know, if you're some sort of Garageband whiz and you can make some sense of the updated app or anything, really. Question, comment, send us a video. If it's around 30 seconds or less, that will make it a lot easier for us to put in the show. And what are you all up in arms about over there?
I was trying to tweet.
Oh, you were? It's not that hard. Were you having a hard time? You can't think of anything good to say?
I forgot how to tweet.
You forgot how to tweet? You could say something like how much you like your American curry soup that you had for lunch.
There already is a Leo's beard on Twitter.
Really? Oh, well.
It's not me.
But it's Leo you?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
But
Is it Leo me, Bert, or is it somebody else? Chat room says.
Is it a parody of your beard, or is some other man?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Ben Affleck's beard had an account too. Many beards have their own
Also a
Twitter
man who
accounts.
looks
This is
good,
why I don't tweet.
good with a beard.
That's why I don't tweet anymore.
Why?
It's a different Leo.
Oh, so all right, you're out of luck. You could do Leo's _ beard. Leo's beard.
Or the real Leo's beard. How about that?
And make sure real is all caps.
Real Leo's beard.
Yeah. Or I am Leo's beard.
You are in a nutshell saying why I don't use Twitter anymore. I think I'm sick of the whole thing. Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Path. I'm done.
Well, you're lucky because there's a whole new there's a new group of social networks coming out of Asia that are like the cool
Gaibao.
And Line.
Huawei.
Line.
Who me?
No, you're just saying things now. Huawei is a equipment manufacturer, sure. But no, there's Line, there's Kakao, there's, well, anyway, that's for another show. I mean, you know what? That's what we'll do. Next week.
New social networks that no one
say-
wants to join.
Well, no, millions and millions of people in Asia have already joined and are using them. It's all about the stickers.
What's the next thing?
Well, we'll find out next week.
Okay.
I'm going to do 10
Nobody's going to
7
want to
days of...
see you talking about Chinese social networks.
Really?
I don't think
Nobody?
Well, we have some Chinese viewers, but not a lot.
Well, no, it's not. It's not because I'm like the Chinese market. And by the way, Asia is not just China. We've got Korea. We've got Japan. There's quite a few markets. It's about what may be coming to other large markets
That could be coming
Facebook is
soon.
Facebook is like old hat now.
I
You
think
know,
Facebook's over.
Everybody's on Facebook, so Facebook is not over.
It's so over.
Facebook has more users than ever.
I know, 1 billion users.
But there are other networks, and these sorts of things are just, you know, they're cycles. Facebook won't be what it is now forever. Just like MySpace didn't last forever, and it's just...
Randy has a good idea. I'm going to start at BBS.
Okay.
You can be on my BBS.
That sounds good.
You got a modem? Bang, bang. You don't need a modem. If you have high-speed internet, you don't need a modem. But if you have high-speed internet, I think Slingbox would be a good thing for you to get.
Oh my gosh, Slingbox is... Okay, well, I'm just going to let you
turns your
describe it.
iPad into exactly what it should have been, which is a personal TV. You can take anywhere. You don't even have. You can take it anywhere in the house as long as you can get online, and you've got a Slingbox. You're set. So here's the deal: you go get a Slingbox 500. That's the new one. They have the old one still, but I love the 500. There's still the 350. 500 is the one with the kind of swoopy doopy lines. HDMI, high def, 1080p, full HD over the internet. So what it does is it puts your home TV system online, so you have password protected access to it. Not just to your home TV system, but to your DVR, so you can play back movies, you can, or TV shows, record them. You forgot to set the TiVo to record American Idol, no problem. You just go on there and you set the recording, and then you can watch it even as you're on the road. It lets you do anything you could do on your home theater system. Satellite box, cable box, DVD player, everything. Around the world via the internet in high def. It is amazing. I want you to try Slingbox. Oh, and by the way, for a short time now, all the Slingbox apps are half price on the iPad, the iPhone, Android devices, and so forth.
Yeah.
So take advantage of this right now.
Do it.
Go to slingbox.com/twit to learn more, or visit Fry's or Best Buy and pick, or Amazon. Get yourself get the 500. That's the one you want to get. Slingbox 500. Because Wi-Fi also makes it easy. You don't have to be next to an Ethernet port. I love the HDMI. The picture quality is amazing. And you know what? You could even, if you had HBO, you could even watch HBO via this. Just use your Slingbox.
Yeah.
Password protected access over the internet to your whole TV system.
And it doesn't have to be stuff that's live. It's like all your queued up shows.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you know, baseball season is pretty much on top of us again. And I know how you like to watch your replay
you know what's
stuff
frustrating?
when you're at the ballpark.
The MLB At Bat app shows games out of market, but doesn't show in-market games. So I don't care about anybody. I want to watch my Giants games, and you can't. Slingbox solves that.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're traveling and you know the local television's not broadcasting your local team, doesn't matter. You can watch it via Slingbox. It's perfect for
Or
you.
a lot of local stuff.
Yeah, local news. Remember Colin? Whatever happened to him?
He left. He like moved or something.
He was so unhappy. He was watching. That was a sign that he was watching Philadelphia local TV news on his Slingbox.
Well,
that was a sign he did not want to be in California.
He had a problem with California. I think he just missed. I don't know.
Slingbox,
Philly
he loved it.
Or whatever.
Yeah, it was. He could
Colin,
watch his...
are you still out there? We miss you, buddy. But no, that was one of the things he liked most about Slingbox. Is your foot okay?
No,
are you trying to?
When you get to my age,
to cross your legs?
It's hard to cross your legs.
You need a crane over there, bud. Hey, you know what time?
Where's that thigh master?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for
Oh, wait a minute. No. Special. Fred Manny of Bakersfield, California.
Yes.
Is obviously a fan because he sent us a box of hats.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
Look there's so many hats in here. So what I'm going to do, close your eyes, put your hand in the box, and pick a hat. Pick a hat out. Surprise yourself. Some of these have already been opened, but some of them have not been. There's a whole variety of hats in there. There are girls' hats. Oh, you got the right one.
Yeah?
Good pick.
I'm gonna do everything without looking.
Okay, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm going from the bottom.
Oh my gosh, there's a...
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's gonna be on back or...
Thank you, Fred Manny. This is good. This is good. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going hunting.
Oh my God, I love this.
I know.
Like I don't even dislike it.
I know.
I love it.
I look like Porky Pig.
You look...
Elmer Fudd.
This is great. Are you serious?
Isn't this great?
This is the nicest.
Look at all these hats. So thank you.
Crap.
Look here's some more for you.
See,
this is a good one for you.
I guess we don't want to cancel the show anymore.
No, we have to.
Look at
all these hats.
Look at these hats.
I know.
These are like really cute. I have to go on another beach vacation.
Oh, this is
so that I can wear these hats.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, whoa. What's happening there? Are there two?
Well, we could be twinsies.
Twinsies.
You want to be twinsies?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, you do that one.
Okay.
I'll do this one. We're going to be twinsies. This is good.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
We've never, ever twinsied it up.
Hats.
No. No.
We're going to now.
New stuff, guys. New stuff.
There we go. Why do I look like an engineer and you look like a hipster? I look like a choo-choo train engineer.
Yeah.
Woo woo!
When do we pull out of the station,
You look like
boss?
a mod. You look like you should be at Carnaby Street.
Yeah. I don't even know what that was. Carnaby, mod?
Do you know that?
What year is
before,
this?
1965?
Oh, yeah, that.
You weren't born yet.
No, I wasn't. Was that during some sort of a revolution of some
NYC
kind?
says I look like an alcoholic.
It's the beard.
It's I got a rummy
You're in your
beard.
awkward phase right now. It's gonna be great. Just give it 6 weeks. It's gonna be great. Hey, so my app cap. This, of course, is the part of the show where
Is
Leo
yours
and I.
big?
It's
Here, trade.
Okay.
I think we got the wrong hats on.
Oh, okay. No, this is
Same
even bigger.
size.
Yeah.
This is the difference in the size of my head and her head.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well,
that says it all.
I have a small little lady brain, so
I know.
You know, yeah.
I know you do.
Right.
Lady brain.
Yeah. All right. So this is what am I even doing anymore? It's like, what am I? Oh yeah, I remember. I'm talking about my app cap of the week.
You know what? Don't stress your lady brain. Just relax.
I know it's so hard, like math.
Yeah.
This is an app called Incredimail. Leo claims that he was going to talk about it last week.
I installed it on my tablet last week, on my iPad last week.
But you didn't talk about it.
Well, go ahead and show it, and I'll explain why I decided not to.
Here's what's kind of neat about it. You just saw an email come in. This is actually from Adam Tratt. He's the CEO of Haiku Deck.
It's like the Flipboard of email.
He and I have been talking a little bit.
Yeah.
It is very much like the Flipboard of email. This is our iPad Today email account. Now, I can add a variety of other accounts. I've added a couple other Gmail accounts. I've synced up my iCloud account. You know, some of that is like personal. So I'm just going to use the iPad Today account.
That's fine.
For purposes
You get the idea.
of presentation. And what you get here is a variety of emails that, yes, are presented in Flipboard type of view. Now, my first reaction was, why would I ever want to read email like that?
Well, this is my problem. I only see, how many messages? 5 messages there.
Right.
I need to see more.
You need to see more. See, you want the
this
Google Reader.
This is like Google Reader
of
versus
email.
Flipboard, exactly.
Yeah. But, and I agree that depending on, you know, some people only have one email address and they're like, I want it to be a list and that's it.
Right.
I have many, you know, so for example, our show email address is something that I'm checking constantly, but a lot of it is like, I'm kind of sitting back, you know. I mean, honestly, I sit on my couch at home. I get my iRest on board, and I'm just like, I'm kind of looking for emails that we're going to talk about on the show in the next week. So this gives me a little bit more of like, I don't know, a cool view. Now, you can also hook up Incredimail to your Facebook account so that people who are your Facebook contacts, you'll start seeing their little profile pictures instead of these generic little faces. For people who I actually know, some faces will pull in depending on the email. This is an invitation to connect on LinkedIn. An email account for iPad Today can't really connect to anybody on LinkedIn, but hey, they're trying anyway. That's kind of nice. I think it's pretty cool. And then, you know, when you're looking at an email just alone by itself, it acts a lot like a regular email. This just looks like, I don't know, some pitch to talk about an app type of a thing. This is pretty nice. I don't know if I would call it, I don't want to make it sound like I don't like it.
It's not a power tool. It's for casual email users.
I guess
it certainly
so.
makes your email more visually appealing. I don't deny that.
Definitely more visually
I felt like
appealing.
it got in my way. It was just slowed me down.
Yeah, this is also, I mean, it's an iPad app, so it's supposed to be, you know, it's making use of the iPad app. It also, if you think of an app like Mailbox, which was just acquired by Dropbox, that I talked about on i5 a few weeks back, that's the app where, you know, everybody's still waiting in line to get access, and I love it, but it's not for the iPad. It doesn't look great on the iPad, and it's only, at least for now, although this will obviously change because Dropbox will make it so, only works with Gmail. But Incredimail works with a variety of different accounts. You got Gmail, you got Yahoo, AOL, GMX. What's GMX? iCloud. You can hook up.
That's that Chinese mail service you were talking about.
Is it?
No, I don't know.
You weirdo. I don't know what Gmex is actually. I've never heard of it before.
I haven't either.
Or
Must be big.
Or a custom email account if you want to pull in that way. So that's kind of neat about Incredimail. I just think, hey man, most of us just don't like reading our email. It's a chore.
Exactly.
It's a freaking chore. And this is probably not my 100% email replacement, but
It's pretty.
But for certain times.
Right.
And you know, and it retains all of my like folders, you know, that I've set up through Gmail. So you know that all comes in as well. It's a nice alternative. It really is, particularly for something like you know, the iPad a day email box, because there's so many emails. You know, and there's a variety of. You got YouTube links in here, and this was the toilet paper commercial. This is the guy that sent us the toilet paper. Oh gosh, actually that's a different person. I guess 2 of you sent us that. Anyway, that's Incredimail. It's completely free, and that is my app cap of the week.
Thank you, Sarah Lane.
You're welcome, Leo.
That hat actually looks quite good on you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. That's very nice. I think it's because it kind of matches me.
It kind of does. It doesn't have any purple in it, but it could.
Well, it's close
hard to
enough.
tell. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Maybe I'll wear it to my charity ball tonight.
Are you going to a charity ball?
Yeah. Well, it's not a ball.
Oh, that's neat. Is it charity water?
It is. No, it's called Share Our Strength.
That's
raising
good.
money for No Kid Hungry.
Yeah.
And what we do is we overeat at this event with a bunch of restaurants in San Francisco, but it's like a really fun fundraiser. So I am going to that later. I don't think I'm going to wear this hat though.
GMX is a German email company.
Oh, it is?
Now, I presume Incredimail is the same Incredimail that has been around for years on the desktop computer as a Windows email client that I actually loathed because it would add like animated GIFs to your email and weird signatures and,
oh my gosh.
You know. Do you remember that? Does that ring a bell?
I'm sort of, this can't be that.
Well, it's the same name. I don't know. Is it related to the desktop Incredimail? It's got to be.
I can't imagine.
They gave up the desktop business, but hey, this is fine. Now, I was torn because I asked the chat room at the beginning of the show, I need an app cap, and they gave me 2 excellent apps. They're both games, and they're both fun and silly, and I'm not sure which to do. There's Ridiculous Fishing. If you liked Battle Cats, you like Ridiculous Fishing. It's just funny, same kind of sense of humor, kind of wacky game. But I'm going to show this one from House on Fire. It's called The Silent Age because it's kind of stylish. It's kind of interesting. It's 1972, the description reads. Love is free, flip-flops, English leather, and bandanas are the height of fashion. Meanwhile, the Cold War is more than lukewarm, and a real one is going on overseas. Not English writers, not native English speakers, I don't think, but still fun. Movements are happening. That's my favorite sentence in the description. Movements are happening. Environmentalists, the female liberties movement. You were in the female liberties movement, weren't you?
What does that mean? That I would like liberty?
I don't know what it means.
Yeah, liberty for ladies.
Yeah, and on the dance floors, an entirely different kind of movement is overtaking the underground clubs. All right, that's enough from this. This is similar to a number of other games I've shown you where you're in an environment. Oh, I guess... Okay, well, we're kind of joining in the middle. I wonder if I close this. Can you hear it? Is it loud enough, Chad? Yeah. It's my office. It says so in permanent marker right underneath the supply room sign. So you tap, this is an adventure game where you tap things, you browse around, and you solve puzzles. It's got an interesting style and feel. It does say use your headphones. Walk to sign. 23rd floor offices is the top management floor where Mr. Hill's office is. So we've got to find out. We need to find a red access card, I think. And I have just started playing this, but it looks like it's kind of a fun. Tap the door. All right, let's tap the door. Oh, only the lab guys get to go down there. Oh, and Frank, of course, they all have red access cards. All right, let's go back here and see. You can run.
Your app caps are all the same.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's basically just the same kind of.
I do like this kind of game.
It's puzzle stuff.
Yeah, puzzle games.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, Leo, you have a type. You've got an app type.
I gotta get the access card. So how do I? So
maybe check the trash can.
Is it? You think it's in the trash can?
I don't know.
I don't know. This is a puzzle.
making stuff up.
Yeah, this is a puzzle. Let's run over here, guy. Walk to elevator door. Yeah, there's something I'm missing. There's some way to get out of this, but I like adventure games. I used to play a lot of the text adventure games.
There you go.
I need the red access card. That's the problem. Single flick the door, he says. All right, let's see if I can open that door. Let's single flick it.
There you go.
Let's go in through the door.
Get your
It's the door
access
to the
card.
office. All right,
This
let's
actually
wander
looks
around.
kind of fun.
Yeah, doesn't it look kind of fun?
It does, yeah.
There's a light bulb. Last one. Let's put it in the. Let's replace the light bulb here.
Maybe you have to click the light bulb in the,
No light. I should change the
lower
bulb.
left.
Oh, wait. Thank you. Use light bulb with. So if you ever did text adventures, this will kind of remind you. Yeah, I know it needs a replacement. There, that should work.
Oh, that's
All right,
cool.
now let's turn that on. So I like this kind of thing where you're exploring an environment, you're solving puzzles. There's the blue access card. Excellent. I've got that now. I wonder if I should do anything else. Walk to Employee of the Month plaque. Let's read that. It's my award. I got it for helping out one of the lab assistants downstairs after he mishandled some barrels. I agreed to keep them here. That's probably not good.
So this is like this employee is trying to figure out, like,
Something's going on.
is there some bad management happening?
Borax, citric acid.
It's like, what are we...
I got some thick rubber gloves.
What are we really boiling in the boiler room? It's people.
Borax, citric acid, eye wash, bleach, and hand soap. Some of the labels have peeled off, but I keep them in alphabetical order, so that's okay. Remember that. I think we might need that. Anyway, you get the idea. Eat the borax? I hope not.
So, by the way, remind everyone what this is called again?
I forgot. The Silent Edge? Is that what it is?
Come on.
Well, let me exit
You
out.
don't remember?
The Silent Age.
Silent Age.
Yeah.
The Silent Age.
It's 1972 once again.
I love this. This is my Epcab. I don't know how it works. What's it called?
I just
don't know.
started it.
Well, maybe start it yesterday.
All right, watch. Am I so dumb now?
Yeah.
Got the red access card. Let's go downstairs. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the blue access card.
Put your gloves on.
Come on, you admit it. You love these games.
No,
Okay.
these are super frustrating.
Use the blue
to
access
me.
card. Really? You don't like this kind of
I
thing?
want him to run faster.
Permission to enter the bridge, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
No, but this is you're investigating.
And how much is it?
I think it's free.
The Silent Age. I'm going to look it up
I think
right
it's
now.
free.
iPad.
Okay, well, we could play The Simpsons Tapped Out if you'd prefer.
No, I prefer not to do that. Yeah, it's totally free. That's cool.
That's
This is from
this reminds me
houseonfire.dk.
of the classic adventure games. You know, did you ever play Zork? All of those. Who was that? Who was the company that did Zork? You know, all those great. Pardon me? Infocom. Those great Infocom text adventures. That's basically what this is with illustrations.
By the way, Incredimail was that
It's the same
desktop.
company.
It's the
Yeah.
same company, Perion. Thanks to who linked that to me in the chat room. You know what, Leo? We're out of time.
Oh,
Because I can see you getting sucked in, and no, we're not going to do that because you've got other stuff to do, and so do I. I got to go to a charity ball. Thanks to everybody for
Charity
watching
ball.
this episode of iPad Today. You've been great, as always, except for the few of you who just frowned through the whole thing. Don't think that we don't notice that. Turn that frown upside down and buck up. Yeah, we don't need any more grumpy cats.
You met Grumpy Cat.
No, I didn't. I didn't go to South by Southwest.
You could have.
See you next time on iPad Today. Arrgh.